So recently I received a phone call that changed my life. Now I'm going to move over. I'm moving out of state, and I'm going to start pastoring a church over in Idaho during the winter. I told myself I wasn't going to be in winter Idaho again. Now I'm going to tell you the story. I was over here in Portland, Oregon, and that was just this last weekend. And on Friday, I got a phone call. My friend called, and he said, "Hey, Enoch, can I ask you a really, really big favor?" I was like, "You can ask." And he explained to me the scenario. The devil is attacking, and he has to go deal with some serious issues over in Georgia. He's pastoring a church over in Idaho. He's doing a missionary training school up there, and they are going out to the fields, knocking on doors, passing out literature, and they're colporting, and they're getting out 54 books, Bible study books, and Great Controversies and other things every single day. And the devil doesn't like that. And there's a church of maybe about 30 people that are really growing, and they're striving, and people are taking on new responsibilities, and they're really in a prime place that they are making a lot of growth. And now he gets this emergency phone call that basically he has to be in Georgia within 7 days notice, and there's no one else to pastor the church. There's no one else to keep the school running, and he's called a few people, but people are just busy. They're linked. They're caught up with other things, and it's one thing to get a guest speaker. It's another thing to get someone who's going to really pastor the people, visit the people, and to be able to do some of the meetings and be there with the students. And so he was calling and he's saying, like, "Brother, if I can't find someone, I may lose the church and I may lose the school. I don't know. I know it's in God's hands. It's God's work, so I trust him. But I'm just calling you because I'd like you to prayerfully consider taking my place while I'm gone, and to be able to keep things going." And I was like, "Ooh." And he's like, "I have to leave. I have to go to Georgia, from Idaho to Georgia, and be there within 7 days." And I'm like, "Whoa. Well, when do you need an answer by?" He's like, "Well, Sunday." So that's like 3 days. I'm like, "Okay." It's like, yeah, I will be praying. And so we hung up, and I was praying. I was seeking some counsel. I was asking the Lord, "Lord, what would you have me to do?" I mean, I'm about to start some evangelism in the local community, and there's some projects that are on our plate. And there was just a lot of things going through my mind. I could see there's a lot of benefits. I do enjoy doing that. He knows that I was the assistant pastor of a church over in Central Point for 2 years, and I helped start a missionary training school in Oregon for 2 years too. So a lot of that stuff, we share a lot in common. Our burden for publishing, for evangelism, for missionary work, and just personal ministries and things like that. And honestly, there's been few people that I've met and I've known who have such a deep burden and a love and care for souls as this pastor does. And so him and I, we really resonate together. We clicked in that common ground. And so I don't know, there's a lot to think about. So I called a few mentors and was seeking a multitude of pastoral counselors, and I was asking some advice and counsel. It's like, well, what would you do in my situation? And just praying. And then I decided, I didn't get the deadline by Sunday, but Monday, this last Monday, I was able to let him know. It's like, okay, I can pastor the church. I can go up there and help for 3 months, but I can't promise to be there indefinitely. So that was my response. He's like, "I understand. Thank you very much." And so he's going to be tied up over in Georgia indefinitely. Hopefully the thing gets situated before 3 months is over, but if not, that's what I've committed. So it looks like, well, we're doing it, the Army of Youth camp out here on the property, and the first weekend of November. So we have people who already bought their plane ticket. They're flying to Central California from Washington State, Oregon, Southern California, and different places. and we're going to be passing out literature over in Yosemite National Park and doing some evangelistic meetings in the local community. So I already know that people are requesting their work off, and I can't just up and leave from there. So I told them it'd have to be, the earliest I can come is after that camp out, right afterwards. So that's first weekend in November. So it looks like the first week of November, I'm going to be traveling or flying over to Idaho and going to start helping out over there. So that's basically where I'm at right now, and my first goals when I get there is I'm going to visit every member of the church. I'm going to get to know them, find the history of the church, see how things have been going on, who can I depend on, who are the team players, who are what are the gifts and the talents of the individuals, and how can we work together to share, to continue the work, because Satan wants to get us distracted and to be focused, so caught up in the dilemma and neglect the work that is going forth. Whatever he can do to pause so that there's a tearing time so that people can get discouraged. And so I'm probably going to have to visit some people that may have been around. Maybe they stopped going to church during the challenge or difficulty, but I think it's going to be a good experience. And oh, the cold, Idaho. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever been. Have you ever been to Idaho during the winter? It's cold there, and not looking forward to that, but wherever God leads us, he's going to sustain us. And so that's what I'm looking at here in the near future, or the next 3 months or so. So keep that in your prayers. There's going to be a lot of great experiences and a lot of challenging experiences, but by God's grace, I know he doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called, and he's going to guide us through that. So that's our vlog for today, and thank you for joining me.